to be among civilian settlements in the first place. But let me answer the first question you asked before you asked this one. Is like, why the military is in the southeast? Are we all just going to sit here and pretend like we don't know why the military was called to the southeast? Let me remind you, on the 5th of April this very year, a couple of ragtags broke into a correctional center, the same Imo State, and released 1,800 criminals into the society. And ever since then, there has been reports of increasing crime all over the state. As you clearly said, there is not enough policemen in Nigeria, probably because we cannot afford to have more already. After that, there has been an unlawful sit-at-home that has been enforced through violence. People keep saying people are willingly staying at home, but we keep seeing videos of ragtags going up and down, destroying people's houses, destroying people's businesses, burning down cars that refused to obey their sit-at-home order. So these were the reasons why the military was later invited to the state to kind of bring some sense of normalcy at the end of the day. Now, coming to this incident that happened, from what I read from the press release of the military and from the Premium Times article, it was said that the military was on a patrol and they came to a point where a car was burning. Allegedly, some guys were trying to enforce the sit-at-home order, the same sit-at-home order, and they happened to engage them. When they engaged them, they were called that in that place where the houses were burnt, there were people going out there destroying people's shops that was in that area because they refused to obey the sit-at-home order. That was how the military got to that point. Now, according to the military, it was the people who was enforcing the sit-at-home that started burning down people things, not them. Now, this is very open for debate. I am not there. My point is that these people have brought the problem to the people in that community, not just that community, in the Southeast, has brought this problem because the Southeast was very, very peaceful before these people started going around enforcing their own will on other people.
All right, Emmanuel. Okay, Emmanuel, apologies, I have to butt in because of time. We've only got an hour, 15 minutes. That's quite a lot of people want to speak. But you just mentioned something, and I want us to be very clear here. You said the military. I want you to send, if you have the article where the military claimed all this thing that you said, if you don't mind tweeting out, that would be very appreciated.
Yeah, I actually have.
No, Emmanuel, please do not interject me. Let me finish, then I will allow you to speak. Now, you know how I run my spaces here. I like to respect people, and I respect people to respect me. Now, we cannot, please, for the sake of whatever we worship, right? Try to blame the people doing sit-at-home for what the Nigerian army did in Imo State. That's not fair. That's not fair. Now, I am not here to condone the sit-at-home. Or, if you're telling me right now that the reason the Nigerian army went to a village and destroyed, I think, 29 houses and shops and everything is because someone is saying other people to sit at home. I mean, how bizarre does that sound? When we have this conversation, let's try and, one of the things I will say, I know you would disagree with me, Emmanuel, is that the Nigerian army are known as, I don't know, they are competing with Lai Mohammed. Because this is the same military that said to us that they were not in Lekki. Let me just move it a little bit right now. That they did not, the military are not in Lekki. Then, they now said they went to Lekki, but they did not shoot. Then they now changed it that they shot a blank. It keeps changing. How do you want people to believe any word that comes from those military? This is the same military that went to Zaria and murdered people. Until today, let's try and be, I respect the fact that you're defending your party APC, but watching that video, please, my brother, you cannot tell me that the military, Nigerian military, did that because of sit-at-home. The question here is this. I'm going to come back to you, Emmanuel. on this because I want to give other people the opportunity to speak. But this is what I have to say for now. I think I have Ozugo. Good evening. Is that a man and woman? Ozugo, good evening.
Good evening. My name is Ozugo.
Ozugo.
And I come from Imo State.
Okay.
I come from Osaka area, and my town is under a siege. My maternal home is under a siege. All the tenants who live in my father's house have all run away because of the Nigerian military. And I regard the Nigerian military as a rogue institution of the Nigerian state.
Okay. Apologies, Ozugo. Now it's very clear that you're from Imo State, right? And you're from the same local government. Am I right?
I'm from also local government area.
Okay, that's fine. So were you in Imo State when this happened, or did someone tell you exactly what happened? I need to make sure.
The tenants who live in my father's house, I spoke with one of them to go, and he tells me that everybody.
No. Apologies, sir. Apologies. Sorry. Let's take it one step at a time. I just wanted to make sure because I wanted to hear from your own account. Now, the tenant who lives in your parents' house, am I right?
Yes.
Okay. Please, in 2 minutes, can you please tell us what the tenant that lives in your parents' house told you about what happened? In 2 minutes, please. I'm timing you. Thank you.
Told me that they're having sometime I think in September we had a former military governor of Enugu and Anambra State, Colonel Herbert Obieze, died, and it was interred last week Friday. And I was told that there were altercations between the military and IPOP sympathizers who told them that they will not come and give a full military honor. And of course, I understand that this has been the backlash of what has. This was the response of how the military has occupied the southeast. So that threat given to the military was as a result of how they have been treated by the military. However, Colonel Herbert Obieze was very peacefully. There were no issues. But he told me that all the tenants in the house have all disappeared. They were running away from the whole left the house because the military gets into the village, shoot anybody aside, and arrest anybody they like. No reason, no justification. So it beats me that somebody would try to discountenance what the Nigerian military is doing to someone who is also regarded as a Nigerian who has the same citizenship rights as they are. If there is no part of Nigeria that is not experiencing an escalation of violence. There's no part of Nigeria. So why is the Nigerian military not occupying every part of Nigeria and unleashing the same vehemence that they unleashed on the southeast in other parts of Nigeria? You cannot tell me that someone invited the military to quell a crisis. Okay, the crisis is, in fact, most of these crises was exacerbated by them.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. Sorry, I apologize. I have to butt in. Now,
how do you say that?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you.
Okay, thank you very much. Because of time, I have to butt in just to remind you. Now, you said something, and I wanted to be very sure. So this incident that happened in your parents' house, in your father's house, is it the same one that happened on Monday? Or is it a different incident?
The one happened on Monday should be at our mama.
Okay.
Our mama is younger brother of Awudemiri. She relocated from Awudemiri to get to our mama. You find the same village you find in our mama as you find in Awudemiri. All I'm saying is that we have the brunt of the Nigerian ministry needlessly. Southeast is not a way. They should relocate to the south.
Thank you. All right. Okay, that's fine. We gotta get to that because I wanted to make sure. So now, from what we heard from Mr. Ozugo, is that not only the one that happened in our mama, right? The one that happened in so there's another one that happened. So we have to be very careful. Okay, sir. Okay, please, sir. So, I mean, you've been on my space before. There's something I do not like, and I respect when people respect that as well. It's when people interject. It's not fair. When you were speaking, I have to interject just to remind you that the time, please. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So, okay, on this note, I'm just gonna go to Ijele, then I'll come back. Onyemuchi, I will come back to you, please. I have Ijele here, then I know you're here, please. Ijele, good evening. Is that Ijawale? Good evening. How are you? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good evening.
Good evening. Pleased to have you. So you've heard what quite a lot of people have said in what's happening in Igbo State. What is your take in 2 minutes, please? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I feel there's a serious leadership backlash from the Southeast. We don't have leaders in the Southeast. From the governors to the senators to the rep members, they are just occupying places there. And it's so disheartening watching and experiencing what has been going on in the South. When are we going to start holding these guys responsible? Because it has actually become a norm. They are just there. And if we are not discussing this, it's just us that are talking about these things. The people that have the ears of the president, people that in Abuja is there, are they talking about these things? Are they not the ones dining with this man? So how are you going to know? You think Buhari will listen to me more than these guys? So I think we need to correct and change the narrative too. Come 2023, anybody, all of these guys, the irony of this thing is that they recycle themselves. So they really go for killing, they keep recycling themselves. None of them deserve to come back to power. And then we need to start checkmating the quality of leaders we elect in the South too. I think that's the solution to the problem. We need to start looking at the quality of leaders, the people that can actually represent us and speak for us. That's just the solution. If we keep electing this kind of people, this menace will keep going on and on and on. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I mean, it still goes back to the leadership qualities and everything, and everybody has to play a part in who leads them. Now, the question is this: you talked about holding leaders responsible. I'm going to say this to you. Most people might disagree with me. A lot of people are not interested in politics, but only few. I mean, in Nigeria, in Twitter NG, I think 10% or if not less is only interested in politics. A lot of people are interested in what they quote cruise, right? That's what sells. Okay? But the only time we get involved in politics is when incident like Lekki happened, or we saw a video trending about what the bandits have done. How many of us on this platform knows who our local government chairman is? How many of you guys here, including me, know who is our House of Rep member? How many of us know who our senators are? These are the people, even though you did not vote for them, they work for you. They are supposed to represent you. Now, the thing about this whole thing is very simple. Find who your House of Rep member is. I've said it, I'll say it again. If you cannot tweet about it, if something is happening in your community, you know who your House of Rep member is. Please, I beg you. I probably will even top up your. I might credit your this thing. If you're using MTN or Glow, I probably will send it to me. Leave the rest for me. I will tweet about it. Because the most important thing here, a lot of people think I just call out politicians and everything. It's not all about me. I have a family, right? Sooner or later, my kids will ask me, what did you do when these things were happening? The problem we have in Nigeria is we move. The problem with, what happened in 2015, we have not learned a lesson from it. And we might still make that the same mistake. I am not here to campaign for any party. But what I'm saying is, until we get involved, getting involved is not all about Buhari. Buhari is in Abuja. Your House of Rep member, I said it and I will say it again. When the PBI thing happened, we made sure that we have somebody, a House of Rep member. I mean, you can check him online, Honorable Ben. We brought him on this platform, and we made sure that we are not going to accept this thing. It's not for us. No, we said no. And we hold him accountable, say, you must go back to the House of Rep and make sure that we do not want this. Fair enough, he did not get it. But the fact that he went back there and spoke for us is something that gives me joy. I am not on this platform just to waste my time, no. I keep saying that I have a job I do. I don't stay on Twitter and do nothing. So in answering your question, Ija, well, it is, we need to find out who is your representative, who is representing you. Send the handles to me if they're on Twitter. If they're not on Twitter, just send me who they are. If they are not on Twitter, there is somebody who works for them who is on Twitter. Okay, on this note, because we're rounding up in the next 1 hour, I have Onyemuche. Good evening. Can you hear me, sir? Onyemuche, can you hear me? Raise your hands. All right, since Onyemuche is not there.
I can hear you.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Good evening. I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, so are you from Imo State?
No, I'm from neighboring Abia State anyway.
Okay. Your governor is doing very well. Just say hello to him for me.
Our governor is sharing 500 naira for our expected mothers. He's doing
okay. Okay, that's fine. So what's going to happen is this. So I want you. Sorry, apologies, Onyemuche, right? So what I want you to do for me, you're from Abia State, which is closest to Imo State, right? So I don't know if the military is in Abia State. What is your take on what happened in Imo State? Please, in 2 minutes, please. Thank you.
Okay. I think I would say that what happened in Imo State is a trend. It has been happening in Southeast general, so it's not just in Imo State. I think a couple of weeks ago, a similar thing happened in I think that should be Oguta, right? Yeah, it happened in Oguta, and the governor went there and was sharing crocodile tears if he meant what he was saying in that place. Those people in Oguta have not gotten justice till today. And I didn't see in any place where the military denied going to Oguta to cause mayhem in that community. I've not seen it. The same thing happened, the thing that happened in Awamama is the same thing. In fact,
okay, I think your network is having an issue. So what I will do, I will go to Plato. Plato, good evening. Can you hear me? Plato, can you hear me? Plato, can you hear me? All right, I think Plato is having a problem with his network as well. So I'm going to go to Ogidi. Good evening, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, who you calling on, please?
I'm calling on you. Do you mind meeting? I'm calling on you right now to speak. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, good evening, sir. Are you from Imo State?
No, negative. I'm from Anambra.
Okay, pleased to have you. So what is your take on what happened in Imo State? Now,
the problem I'm having generally in Nigeria is the fact that we will talk and continue to talk and nothing happens. It pisses me off. For instance, like the last speaker was saying, it happened in Oguta and nothing happened. It just happened in our mama, and we are still talking. I'm pretty sure that nothing is going to happen. So when are we going to just sit up and say that enough is enough? Let's do something about it so that all this nonsense can stop. When are we going to do that?
Okay. Okay. Let me answer you quickly because I don't take that kindly when people say we talk and talk. I don't know who talk and talk. For me,
we do.
Okay. Apologies, sir. I'm just trying to respond to your question, right? So I want you to listen to what I'm about to say. So we talk and talk. If it's not yielding results, I will not be on this platform. It's 9 o'clock right now. I should be doing something else. Now, I will refer you back to what happened yesterday. I made sure it's not only me. I believe other people retweeted that tweet. I made sure that somebody like Kingsley Moralu spoke about what happened in Imo State. Now, the reason I said that is this. If we do not believe that our voices will be heard, there is no point talking about it. I'm that kind of person. And I'm gonna say this because sorry, sir, apologies. I'm gonna come back to you, please, if you don't mind. Now, the question is this. We talk and talk and talk and talk. I've said it and I'm going to repeat it again. You are from Anambra State. We heard what happened in Anambra State during the election. We all spoke, quite a lot of people on this platform spoke about it. Now, what I ask you is, you're from Anambra State. Who is the senator representing you? Who is the House of Rep member? Forget about it. I don't want you to talk. I will talk. Send me their handle. Leave the rest for me. Because I'm going to say this. Even if these guys are not online, there are people who represent them. You do not understand the power you have if you cannot speak up for yourself. Back in the days, before the time of social media, people protest in different ways, and that is still acceptable. But now, not all of us will go to our villages to protest. But we have a voice. Your voice matters. So do not think nobody listens to you. You cannot just say, we talk and talk and talk. I apologize, but I do not take that kindly. I'll give you 1 minute to round up. Thank you.
Okay. My point again is, if you don't like the word talk, then I'm not gonna say it again. But my point remains that we do all these chats, all these stuff we do, and nothing. There's no change in sight, and it makes people very upset. For instance, the Oguta one, we did the same thing. We got on the Twitter, we talked about it, with hope that it's gonna end. It didn't end. It just happened in our mama. And we are again on Twitter. We are talking. It's annoying. It is annoying. And there's some guys on this Twitter that were blaming IPOB. I'm not an IPOB member, but some of the things they did, I will tell you that I like it.
All right. So, Mr. Ogidi, because of time, apologies, sir. We've only got about an hour to go, so I'm going to pause you now, if you don't mind. Apologies.
No problem.
All right.
No problem. Go ahead and do your thing.
Thank you very much, sir. Okay, so what's gonna happen here is I have quite a lot of speakers here. So I think I have Nze. Is it Nze? Nze, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, brother.
Good evening. Sorry, are you from Imo State?
No, I'm from Anambra.
Okay, sir. So in 2 minutes, can you tell us what you saw? Did you see the videos of what happened in Imo State?
It's quite going.
Okay. All right. So in 2 minutes, can you please tell us what you think what happened in Imo State, if you don't mind? Thank you.
So I was not there, but based on the video and the popular opinion, is Nigerian soldiers trying to play some childish revenge that some of, I don't know whether one or two, I don't know how many of their members they said that were killed. Then the next thing they decided to embark on killing innocent people and burning people's property, causing huge economic damage because of that, which to me is a pattern that has a kind of lasted money more than it should. And, you know, I don't know what is wrong with Igbo leaders. I don't know what is wrong with them. In the sense that there are certain places this kind of a thing cannot happen. And even if it happens, the perpetrators, the people that are behind this, those soldiers will be identified and they are not going to go scot-free. But it's funny, in Igbo land, these things like this do happen. And our politicians, we just keep quiet. I don't know what is their problem. I don't know how they are so sold out to money and the power from Abuja.
Okay, I think that there's quite enough noise where you are, but what I think I've got the point you're trying to make. If you don't mind, I'll come back to you in 2 minutes. Is that okay? Sorry, not in 2 minutes. I'll come back to you. Is that okay, Mr. Anze?
It's okay. Go on.
Thank you very much. Do you mind posting your meeting your mic, please? Okay. Thank you very much. So you see, this I just thought about something. I didn't. Some of the things I do, I don't like to share on public domain. But I just don't like the. I do not appreciate the fact that people think we come on spaces and we waste our time and all those things. And sometimes I do get messages, mostly in my DM, for me to delete a tweet. And when I tweeted something about what happened in Imo State, I called out four politicians from the southeast: Mohalu, Rochas, Ojuzokalo, and Peter. And the people, the reason I said to you, even though these guys are not on this platform, they have people listening, right? These guys are interested in running for president and everything. And I'm going to say it, you can, make of it what you want to. Somebody from Rocha's camp approached me and said to me, please, he's going to speak about this in the House of Rep. Do you mind deleting the tweet? And I refused. The reason I refused is I want him to speak about it. Then I will see what happens. Now, this whole thing about Twitter is very powerful, please. You make use of it. I mean, whatever happened in my DM, I don't care who it is, share whatever happened in my DM on the public forum. But someone reached, because I made sure I'm not going to delete this. I know he's going for governor and presidency. And he said, okay, you have to delete, take his name out or whatever you have to do about it. He's going to raise it in the house. And I was watching the channel TV. Lo and behold, here he is. I didn't see him, but when you saw the capture, Senator Rochas has spoken about what happened in Imo State. If I did not tweet that thing, please, maybe I'm not taking the credit. Would you think that would happen? You have a voice. I am not here to waste my time. Neither are you. But one thing I'll beg each and every one of us is, please, let's be very careful of the messages we put out there. I don't believe in fake news. I am so hot. This whole thing hurt me because I was doing a research on Biafra and what happened in Biafra. I was reading a book, doing a research because I have a session I'm teaching people about it. And this happened. So you can understand how my voice is. Then you understand what happened 50 years ago, over 50 years ago, what happened to these guys. And you see people destroying houses. And my question still remains, what are your leaders doing about it? I think I have Jumoke. Jumoke, can you hear me? Good evening. I don't know. I need you to take this mic out because I don't think I'm doing a great job with this because the thing about me is coming up now. But I have GIMB. Good evening, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Thank you very much, Mindset.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm fine. And you?
I think I'm getting better. I'm getting better.
I can.
So you saw the video of what happened in Imo State and what the soldiers did in Imo State, and
yes.
How did we get here, and what is the way out? In 3 minutes, please, sir.
Yeah, I will, my brother. It's quite unfortunate. I mean, first of all, let me just say that when someone say that what we say here, we are wasting our time, we are saying nonsense. It is not true. If it were to be true, Twitter will not be banned in Nigeria. So, I mean, that alone should tell you that what we say here matters. So, back to what happened in Imo State. It's quite unfortunate that, when I heard Emmanuel saying that, trying to justify the fact that, soldiers had to come into Imo State because of people enforcing sit at home. What is the job of the police, for example? When we had NSAS in Lagos, we saw police that we've never seen them before, with vehicles we've never seen them before. We saw how they were kitted. I never knew Nigerian police force can be like. I've never seen them before in that way. We saw these people. Why are the police not deployed? Why will it always be the army? So I don't know how anyone would justify the soldiers moving into a community. What are they doing there in the first place? What are they doing there in the first place? And mindset, like you said, I mean, we are part of this problem because we do not hold our leaders accountable. We don't even know who our leaders are. We just hear that, okay, for example, I'm from Anambra, I have a senator representing me, I have this. Many of us don't even know who they are. We don't even care. After 4 years, another person comes in and they don't do anything. The allocation they're getting, we don't even know what they're doing with it, and we don't ask questions. The governor is the chief security officer of the state. I heard when you say, Buhari will be blamed, but I am blaming the governor. The governor is the chief security officer of the state. So for anything to happen in the state, the governor must be aware. So what is he doing? Do you think this kind of thing can happen in River State? No, because the governor will be aware. You will see Wike coming out. It cannot happen in Delta State. There are states that we know that these things will not happen. You will see the governor, except if it's the governor that brought these people in. You can't see it there. So when we are part of the problem, we should blame ourselves. We are part of the problem. Why these things are happening? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, GRMB. So responding to what you said, when I talked about Buhari, I think it was Emmanuel. I can't remember who the first speaker was, or was it the second speaker talking about that. I said something akin to that Buhari is the commander-in-chief. In other words, he commands the army. So I get your point that we have to blame the governor. And yes, let's just leave it at that for now. So I have my amazing sister. Good evening, sis. Jumoke, good evening. Can you hear me? Hi, Jumoke, can you hear me? All right, I think she's still struggling with her mic.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Okay. I can hear you now, loud and clear. How are you? Good evening.
Excellent evening.
Wow. We missed you. It's been the space has not been the same without you. So it's good to have you back.
Outside.
Oh my goodness. Your network is still bad. We can hardly hear you, but it's good that you're here.
I'm better now.
It's good that not really. We are still struggling with that.
Go ahead. Okay, so go ahead. Go ahead, sir.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much. So Jumoke is back. She's my co-host, and last week for the past 2 weeks she's been producing these amazing things for Nigerians. She did the Budweiser Game of Kings, and with Roberto Carlos and John Terry, and all Nigerian Festival. So thank you very much, Jumoke, for all your hard work, and you still make time to come here to help us discuss what matters to us as Nigerians, as an individual. So I have Mr. Pontius. Is it Pontius? Wow, what a name. Pilot, good evening, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm good.
Good to have you. Please, are you from Imo State?
No.
Okay, so you saw what happened we're rounding up in 45 minutes, right? So we saw what happened in Imo State, especially Olo. What is your take on it in 2 minutes, please? Thank you.
Well, what happened is horrible, but I wouldn't want to sound or bring bad news, because I personally agree with one of the speakers you were speaking to, who said that all we can do is talk. And in your own defense, you said you got Mogalu and I was waiting to hear what Mogali did. At the end of the day, you said you got Mogalu to talk. And Rochas, what exactly did Rochas do? He spoke. Even if you've got Abaribe and the rest, what exactly were you expecting them to do? He spoke. So at the end of the day, you reinforced what the guy was saying. Yes, even if it's because of your tweet that they spoke, but what was the action? It's talk. So we as a society, we've not gotten to the level where speak makes a difference. Really, let me just tell you, there are countries where when citizens speak, it makes a difference. We are not yet as civilized as that. Change in this country comes from leadership, not the people. We can always choose to turn it around and say, look, we have the power, except you don't want to live in reality. So, for me, our solution, talking will always make us feel good, but I can assure you that from 1960, listen, I want to make this point clear. At least Nigeria is not North Korea. Nigeria is one country where You don't see journalists being murdered up and down and stuff. We have some level of press freedom. We've talked for over 70 years in this country, and I can assure you, there is not one problem, one foundational problem in Nigeria that we've talked to a solution. We've not talked our way to a good road. We've not talked our way to good political system, to education, to health. So if it's talk, we've had abundance of it.
Okay,
hold on.
So no. It's because of time, because I timed it for 3 minutes.
So let me just round up though.
Please.
What I'm saying is we are not as civilized as other societies where change starts with the people. For now, change starts with leadership. So let's always look to lead. And when I say leadership, all right, I'm talking of Aso Rock because we don't have a federation. What we have is a unitary system. That change must come from Abuja first. All right, then we can grow as a society to a level where we can talk and it will be hard. For now, we are not yet there. So,
all right, thank you.
At this point.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pontius. All right, so I'm just going to make something clear. You see, for me, if you have so my thing to it is every opinion matters. Okay, I don't have any problem when people's opinion do not matter, but I am a firm believer that my voices will be heard. And if somebody believes that their voices will not be heard, all fair is all fair, right? And you made something. You said something akin to from 1960, our voices have not been heard. I mean, I can tell you based on with the little knowledge I have about what it means to speak out. Before now, in 1986, I think it was 1986, that Delegiwa was killed. He was the editor of Newswatch. And Delegiwa was doing exactly what we're doing right now. He was using Newswatch to hold the government to account. He was using his newspaper, his newspaper, I will borrow that word, right, to write about the injustice that then military head Babangida was doing. And he was fearless. Then there's quite a lot of things that Delegiwa himself did that we have not even touched. He stopped quite a lot of things that Babangida, I mean, it came to a point that the military were scared. How did this guy get this information? Because he exposes what they're about to do. And I will keep saying it on this platform. My voice will be heard. And you said something akin to what did the morally say? If you understand the power these guys have, me and you, we don't know how that power. I've only got I don't even know how many followers I have, I think 2,000. But this is somebody who wants to be a president. If you think that the government will not listen to him, he was a former CBN governor, I think, if I'm right, not CBN governor, right? But something like deputy, right? You have to understand that this guy have an influence when he speaks. Now, it appears that Rochas Okocha from Imo said he will not do something about it. But the fact that he even made an attempt is something. So if our voices does not matter, what are we doing on this platform? Are we here? Is this a joke? So with all due respect, Mr. Pointis, I take your point, but I believe personally, I don't know about every other person, I will speak for myself. My voices will be heard, and I'm going to keep speaking. Thank you very much. So I have Mr. Modestus. Good evening, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Good evening.
How are you, sir?
I'm good, and you. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. Are you from Imo State?
Job.
Are you from Imo State?
No, I'm not from Imo State.
Okay, thank you very much. So, you're from the southeast, I take it, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. So I believe you saw the video of what happened in Imo State. Now, I think quite a lot of people have actually condemned it. My question to you is, what is the way forward? Where do we go from here? In 2 minutes, please, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I will try to do that within 2 minutes. I would just say that we keep doing what we are doing. See what you're doing now? That is where we are. I mean, you don't have to just carry one gun to go and kill how many of them? Or are you going to stir one stream like that and everywhere we just turn around in a minute? No. It's just exposing it like it is now. by the time we keep exposing it like this, by the time we keep sensitizing people, then one day these things will come up together. So everybody, we're entitled to our own opinions, but talking like this is very important. At least if you have made somebody come out from their comfort zones to talk against their government and all that, you have done much. So whatever we are doing now is very important. That this is the way we mount some pressure on some of them too. If they cannot do anything, if they cannot stage a protest, if there's not that thing they can do, at least let them come out of their comfort zones. It is very important. Now, we know, I think there's one that the governor of Imo State have said that he invited the army some time ago. You know, the issue of NSAS, and the federal government was like they didn't send, and there was the issue of who invited the army. They said army has to be invited first before they would go. All those lies and rhetorics that they keep playing on. But these are the situation we have. So we cannot exonerate our governor or the governor of Imo State in this case. We cannot. Because if he is not involved, he should be shouting. These are his people. These are the people he's representing. So if you have criminals, if you have one criminal that run into a market, you burn down the market because of one criminal or two. So how about the innocent ones? We know that even in law, that it is better that you let the guilty go than convicting the innocent. Some that didn't do anything. You are burning houses, you're burning livelihoods, you're burning human beings and other stuff. And these are the people that have sworn. Some time ago, people said that for you to become a soldier, when we were growing up, they would say something like, you will have to sign with a red ink your life and your death. In other words, you are going to protect other lives with your own life. What it means is that your life is not as important as that innocent life. You have given yours already. That innocent life on the street is still there, depending on you.
Okay,
and then
okay,
go ahead and kill.
Sorry, apologies, Mr. Modeste, because of time. Can you please round up in 1 minute, please? Thank you.
Okay, so I'm just saying that we keep doing what we are doing. And one other thing I wanted to talk about is about our leadership. Most of the times, the leadership we are looking at are servants to other people. And that is why we see all these things go on like this. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, Mr. Modeste. So what will happen is this. I need to hear from some, do we have any ladies? Because it appears that the men are talking and I have some ladies here. Please, if you want to speak, if there's any lady who wants to speak, please do raise your hands and I'll gladly give you the mic. But now we have discussed, I think we all agreed, not all of us, I think Emmanuel still have expunge you. I'll come back to you, Emmanuel. But I think some of us have agreed that what the military did in Imo State is really, really wrong, and there's no way to justify that. So the next part of this program now, we are rounding up in the next 30 minutes, is how do we move forward? How do we move forward to stop something like this happening again? That is the question right now. So I'm going to go to, I can't remember who is first before others. Is it, also, sorry, I think we have Dr. E before every other. Dr. E, good evening, sir. Can you hear me?
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening, sir.
Thank you for this opportunity, and I think you are doing an excellent job. What I have to add to what everybody has said, even those who are realistic.
Sorry, Dr. E, please, apologies. Is there any way, I think we can't hardly hear you. I think it might be from your mic. Or... we wanted to hear you clearly.
Yeah, it's so early in the morning here, so I'm just driving to work. I don't know. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, it's much better now. Thank you.
Okay. No, what I was saying is this. I've listened to most of your speakers, those who are realistic and those who are optimistic about the situation going on in Nigeria. What I would say is this. Doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results is a fool's idea. This has been going on for a very, very long time. If you remember, the Ihiala one happened, then there was another killing in Enugu State, then there was another one in Abia State, then now Imo State. It's been happening for a very, very long time, and as you said, the politicians whom we have whether agreed to have sent to Abuja or selected by the power that be to go there to represent the people, they've been adamant in this whole situation and they've kept mute for quite some time now. It is time for us to start either by way of protesting, like just abandoning wherever they choose to speak, maybe come to community, like Hope Uzodinma coming to a particular community, let no one come out to greet him. I think that's a way of registering your own. I think we have that freedom on how we choose to protest. Because if you come out in the street, they will kill you. If you stay inside the house, I think that's a better way. Once you are coming to see the people who they've been killing, because he gave this authorization for these military people to go to Imo State to commit this havoc. If not, he is the number one citizen in Imo State. Without his permission and blessing, this carnage will not be going on in Imo State.
Okay.
In conclusion, we should try to stop going to their events, stop attending their event in protest, for them to realize that the people are angry and other civil disobedience, because as one of your speakers said, we've been talking. I think we should put a little bit of action in our talks. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for your submission. Sorry, sir, do you mind? Okay, thank you. Do you mind muting your mic, please? Dr. E, do you mind? Thank you very much. So, Dr. E's idea of how to rescue the situation or how to respond to it is one should not attend the functions of the government, which is another good way to go about. Thank you very much, sir. So I have Ozowe. Is it Ozowe? Good evening, sir. Hello, can you hear me? Is it Ozowe? Can you hear me, sir? All right, so I think you can hear me. Then I have Umar Biafra. Good evening. Can you hear me? All right, so I think those two cannot hear me, so I might as well take them as speakers, take them off. Then, so Emmanuel, you have heard what we have to say. What's your response in 2 minutes? I mean, quite a lot of people have responded that this whole thing, I saw what you posted, so I will go, well, after this program, I will go back and read it, because you're saying that the reason why the army decided to destroy people's livelihood is because of sit at home.
No, I never said that. I never said the army decided to destroy people's home because of.
No, Emmanuel. Apologies, Emmanuel. I think we've gone this way before. Now the question is this, because I'm paraphrasing. I'm not quoting you, but I'm paraphrasing. So, from what I gathered from what you said, you said something akin to, we saw this whole thing, this sit at home, forcing people to sit at home. Am I right? Because I'm trying to paraphrase what you said. So, in other words, the reason why the military are in the southeast region of Nigeria destroying things is because of the sit at home. That's what I got. That's what I got from what you're saying. So I don't know if you want to respond to that in 2 minutes.
Like that, you're putting words into my mouth.
Okay, can you respond in 2 minutes, please, then?
Yes, you were asking a question that why is the military in the southeast in the first place? And I was giving you reasons why the military had to be sent to the southeast. That's what I said. Then
apologies, Emmanuel, I have to butt in. Now, if you want to go this route right now, let me put it this way. So there is no sit at home, right? The unknown gunmen, in quote, we are not disturbing anybody on that fateful day, from what we gathered. So there were some misunderstanding between some people, right? There was no shooting. So if we're going to go that way to defend what the army did, there was the sit at home on Monday, I think that was on Monday that this thing happened, should not require the army to destroy this thing. So I don't know how you want to defend this. In 2 minutes, please. Thank you.
Okay, again, Mr. Mindset. Like I said, from the articles I read the Premium Times article and also read the press statement by the army themselves. The both article alluded to the fact that there was an altercation between people enforced at home and the military. Now, you can choose to believe this, you can choose not to believe it. I'm just telling you what I read out there. As a lot of people who have come off this space have said, they said a lot of people weren't there when this thing happened. I wasn't there. But they said what they heard. And this is what I'm telling you, what I read on the on Premium Times article. And from the press statement, I have sent it to you, what that the military released. Now, you said the military has not been consistent with their words, and that's absolutely fine. What I'm saying at the end of the day is that this incident that happened in this community is very tragic. And I don't have details if lives were lost. I hope lives were not lost, but I know a lot of properties were destroyed. But if we're going to go to the root cause of all this problem, people need to understand that you cannot engage the military. You might say the military should not be in the Southeast, and that's the conversation to be had. But you cannot go about engaging the military. How do you intend to win that fight in any way? If the military were the ones that destroyed those people's properties, I hope somebody comes out and prosecutes them for it, and whoever gave that order is prosecuted. But at the end of the day, we have to address the root cause of this problem. You cannot go about, we have seen videos with people going about with guns, thinking that those guns are, you want to engage the military.
Okay, Emmanuel. Now, you see, the problem we have here is this. I'd like us to be very factual with what we're saying. You use the word if, okay? And if I'm not mistaken, you've actually said that the military released a press statement, right? A press release. And for me, I don't really, with all due respect, I don't believe anything that comes out from Premium Time. I have my reasons. But now, from you that read it, did the military accept the fact that they were the ones that destroyed those properties? Are they denying it? If you don't mind, in 1 minute, can you tell us here?
They denied it.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, I'm just gonna. You see, one of the things about me, I like to be very. If I don't know anything, I'll ask questions. Okay, and I'm not mistaking my words when I say I do not believe the Nigerian military. And I'll give you some instances why I do not believe it. What they did in Zaria, they denied it. What they did in Lekki, they denied it. So that's a story that I probably house another space for that. But the question here now is, I need somebody from Imo State. If you're from Imo State, please raise your hands up, because I want those from Imo State. Okay, who is this? Somebody, I don't know who this is, but you're raising your hands. I'm hoping that you're from Imo State, because I wanted to find out a way forward. Okay, I want to find out a way forward. So I'm going to gladly invite you to speak. Please, you raise your hand that you're from Imo State. What's your name again? Plank? Sorry, I can't even pronounce your name, sir. P. Camelia, how are you? Good evening, sir. Are you from Imo State? Plank Milia, are you from Imo State? It's not even responding. All right, so I need someone from Imo. Also, go. I think I've listened to you. So what we're going to do right now, I'm going to go.
Imo State. I wasn't raising my hand. I was just agreeing to what you were saying about the military not saying the truth.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you. So, I'm gonna go back to Mr. Uma. Mr. Uma, good evening. I'm back to you again. So, Mr. Uma, can you hear me? Okay, Pontius, you wanted to respond. Pontius, you have the mic.
All right, just quick. I just wanted to suggest a solution. I'm not so sure of what I'm saying, but I think in Lagos State, they passed a law, not even executive order, saying that security agencies cannot come to Lagos to carry out operation without informing the government. So I'm thinking our governors in the southeast can also look in that direction. I think the law is usually it's not targeted at soldiers deployed in Lagos. It's targeted at all these kind of operations that are commanded from Abuja, where they dispatch security operatives to a state, maybe for things like arrest in Igboho or things like Operation Python Dance and all those things. So I think if our governors begin to pass such laws that people just can't come into the state, badge in and come and do rubbish with time. Because if they inform governors, I'm not sure this kind of burnings can happen. You can inform the governor. Yeah. So we
thank you very much
towards that direction.
Thank you very much. That's a very valid point. And please, sir, if you don't mind, is there any way you can, if possible, if you can tweet that particular law that you said, because I like things to be very clear. If not, if you probably might not be able to do it tonight, but maybe after this program, if you can, please find out law, and if you don't mind tagging me on it. Pontius, can you hear me, sir? Please, because take your time if you cannot do it tonight, tomorrow, but anytime you have to tweet it, I would like to be tagged to it, because these are the kind of things that will make a difference. Now, a lot of people have blamed Hope Uzodinma. Most of us are very aware how he emerged as the governor, so we might disagree, we might agree with it. He had to do the bidding of his party, so as an APC member, it has to do work for him and his party members. So now, for those that are from Imo State, the ball is in your court. Why do I say this? You have House of Rep members, you have senators. He might control the Imo House of Assembly, but then again, there has to be one person in the Imo State House of Assembly that will be a voice for the people of Imo State. And I think it's very, very important that those from Imo State start taking the step of calling these people out, holding them account. I really, really liked what Mr. Pontius said about the law in Lagos, and I believe we have some lawyers here who will look into this. So I think that's a point. So please, the next thing we're discussing is a way forward. We have talked about what happened, and most of us agree that the soldiers did wrong, and we do not want such to happen anywhere in Nigeria, not only in the southeast, anywhere. The soldiers should be in Borno, they should be in Zamfara State, they should be in Abuja Kaduna Expressway if they really are soldiers. There is no war happening in Imo State. There's no war happening in Southeast. That's where they should be. There is no way we can look at this and try to defend it. That somebody decided to burn down what a fellow human being worked hard for. For what? They are not professional enough. I disagree with somebody who tried to defend them. That's my take. So I have Mr. Chike. Good evening, Chike. Can you hear me? Chike?
Yes, good evening. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. This is really, really touching to me because I'm also from Imo State myself. And, looking at what happened basically is obvious.
Sorry, apology, Mr. Chike. I don't mean to be rude. So we've talked about what happened. What we want to find out is what is the way forward. Do you have any solution? Please, in 3 minutes, because we are rounding up in 15 minutes, please. Thank you.
Okay. The last caller has made a very valid point about at least using the legal way. Another solution also, potential solution also could be, we're talking about cameras, there is no way they can deny it. Even with video evidence, they keep on denying it. So this could also be another one. We need to use all the tools we have. Basically, as one caller said, you can't use the gun to fight them, but you can use the media. This is what they're afraid of. The atrocities being exposed. And how do you do that? We use, camera, we use technology, we expose them. On Twitter, we join channels like this. And this, I think, is also another very good way too. that can let them know that they are being watched. No matter what they do, they are being watched. We can see them, and they know. So this is my take on that. Thank you.
Okay. Hello? Mindset, are you still there? Sorry, I was speaking. I didn't even know. Sorry, apologies. I didn't know I've been speaking. Ticket, thank you very much, Mr. Ticket. Do you mind muting your mic now, please? So, Mr. Ticket was going in the line of we keep speaking, and that's the right thing to do. So, Mr. Umar, give me 1 minute. I'll come back to you. I have Sandra here. Good evening, Sandra. Can you hear me?
Sorry, Mindset, can I correct a mistake I made? It was not Lagos State Governor. They've not passed that law. Nevertheless, it was a resolution taken by the meeting of all the southern governors.
Okay.
They resolved to go and pass those laws in their various states. So it's even more widespread than Lagos.
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Bantes. I mean, even at that, please, can you please share that? If you can share it, at least we can now, if you tag me on it when you do it. So what I can do is I can share it, and hopefully I can tag 1 or 2 people on it. So we have to follow that. So thank you very, very much, sir. I really appreciate that. So I have Sandra here. Good evening, Sandra. How are you?
I'm fine. Good evening, Mindset.
Good evening.
Thanks for having me.
Pleased to have you. So are you from Imo State?
Yes, I'm from Imo State, actually. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
I've been listening to you guys. And then I wanted to correct what point you said, that it wasn't a law yet, that it was a resolution.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
And then I wanted to add that what you guys said, they are very important and they are very good recommendations. But then I have just something to add. I have an uncle that is a politician in Imo State. My uncle was kidnapped 2 weeks ago. You know what this man did? Because they went for a meeting in Hope Uzodimma's house, and then he stood up and told Hope Uzodimma that he should revoke the order that he used to bring Abi to Imo State. They went for a meeting. He just said that on Sunday. By Sunday now, it will be 2 weeks that my uncle was kidnapped. Nothing has been heard about him. No story, no information. Not even, okay, some people are speculating that he's dead, that he's been killed. Or yeah, give us the body, let us go and bury him. Nothing has been said, nothing has been heard, just because he spoke up. Now,
okay.
You guys were saying...
Okay, hold on. Apologies, Sandra. I need to take this one talk at a time because this is very, very important. Now, this your uncle, is he a member of Imo State House of Assembly?
Yeah, he's the councillor representing our ward.
And what's the ward?
My ward is, I don't really know the name of the ward, but
all right,
village, I'm from Oluzon, and yeah.
Okay, so what I need you to do for me, because I like to be very clear with what I'm working with. So if you don't mind, maybe after this, can you DM me who your uncle, what his name is? So I'm going to do a bit 1 or 2 research and make sure that we are getting the right, because before I tweet anything, I have to be very sure. If this actually happened, from what you're saying, this is very wrong. So we need to follow it up. 2 weeks is a long time for someone to be in the kidnappers. And so we cannot at this point point fingers at anybody. But please, after this program, if you don't mind, send me a DM and I'll work on that. Sorry, continue in the next 1 minute, please. Thank you.
All right, no problem. So that's what I wanted to say. And then I wanted to add that how do you expect people from my family, from like someone like me now, to speak up? Like everybody was saying speak up. But then I have an example of someone that has spoken up, and then all of a sudden we did not see him again. Like we didn't see this man. Nowhere, nothing, no story. So that was just what I wanted to say, that everything you guys were saying was correct, but then it's not easy. Seriously, it's not easy. But then I encourage the people that are speaking up, and then I'll keep telling them, keep doing it. If it's working for you, then just keep doing it. Thank you, Mindset. I will DM you the other thing.
Please do DM me that. So now you see, the point of this is it's not easy for everyone to speak, and a lot of people were always asking why do you choose to be anonymous. It's not there's so many reasons why I choose to be anonymous. But when we have things like this, we'll be frightened not to speak against this any injustice. You know, it doesn't matter if you're in PDP or an APC. We cannot stay on this platform now, blame Hopus or whatever. But Sandra, please, I'm looking forward to that DM. Then we'll work on that. Thank you very much. Mr. Umar, you raised your hand. Good evening, sir. Mr. Umar, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes.
Before we round up, I've heard all the voices, you know, in suggesting and giving solutions as the best way to approach this particular vexatious issue of deploying soldiers to go to civilian territories to go and cause havoc. If you remember, even during military regimes, we have had soldiers who have gone to do the unthinkable, and the sudden explanation during Babangida period was that some soldiers have some period of madness, and so they can do certain things, you know, which does not hold water. And we can also remember what happened in Odi, and so forth and so on. These are not the best of times for Nigerians to be killed by Nigerians themselves. You know, Nigerian army killing Nigerian citizens for no just cause. But I do not believe that any soldier, any boot can step into Imo without the governor knowing. Because if there is any boot that will come into Imo, it has to be in form of one, that either there is a battalion or there is a unit of the Nigerian army which will be stationed in that place. And if it is going to be stationed there, the financial responsibility is always shared between the federal government and the state government. So the state government is very much aware, and they must have been the ones that have requested for it, and then the soldiers will come and then be taking orders from if there is a GOC, the GOC will be giving orders. If the governor says during the Security Council meeting, this is what we want to be done, what we want done, the GOC will naturally go and ask the Chief of Army Staff, who will now give final order. That is where the issue, you know, of authority of the governor comes into play. The governor mostly don't have such authority to give final order. Yeah, the man has to clear, just like the commissioner of police. He has to clear with the IG before he can do anything that the governor wants done in his particular. So even if he's the chief security officer, he can make requests, and the government will listen to his request and bring a battalion or an army or a unit or a canton, any amount of soldiers he wants, they will bring it. He is supposed to cater for them. The army will cater for, and then he will also cater for some things. And so I think what we will do is, how do we get the government to understand that there is no need for the Nigerian army to be in Imo State? If tweeting to the governor is not enough, we need representation. We need, our voice to be heard by the governor. Even if it is to write to the governor, to say, okay, Mr. Governor, please, if you are the one that requested for this army, and you please ask the federal government to deploy them back. We don't need army here. Let the police, Mopul, or any other, come and do their work. They are more trained to take care, to handle civilians, and not the army. The army are trained to kill. So that at the slightest provocation, they don't waste time. They just burn, maim, destroy, and kill. You know, and that is not acceptable in Imo State or any part thereof.
All right, Mr. Uma, thank you very, very much for your suggestion. So I think from what the lady before is saying, it's just it appears from what she said, I cannot confirm this. Those that wanted to speak against the militarization of the Southeast, especially Imo States, have been threatened by this so-called governor. And your suggestion about trying to have a committee to meet him is a very good one. The way to go about it again is we need to find out who and who will make up this committee. Now, it's still going to bounce back to those from Imo State, and I still believe culpable people. There are people, and one of the biggest problems in Imo State, from what I've gathered, when someone asked me to remove Rochas Okorocha from the tweet, is that this problem between the camp of Rochas and Hope Uzodinma. So he would have been the right person, being the senator representing Oru, right? But then again, they have this problem within themselves. So it's a very tall order to fight someone, but I believe we'll do that. We're going to find a way around it. I know there are people representing, there are people that, it doesn't matter how stubborn these governors claim to be, there has to be somebody. There has to be somebody that he listens to. And I think that's another way to try it. Thank you very, very much, Mr. Uma. So you've got 8 minutes to round up the conversation tonight. And I have Mr. Akukaria. Good evening, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm good. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. So you've been listening to the conversation. So what we're actually doing right now is a way forward. How do we get to the governor? How do we get to the representative in Imo State to tell them that the military should not be in Imo State? Please, in 2 minutes, please. Thank you.
That is exactly why I came up to speak. Because it sounds like you guys, you are absolving the main culprits here. That is what you guys are doing. Hope Uzodinma or Hopeless Uzodinma does not have any power over the army. If Nigeria is ever a place that is sane crime, you will not see soldiers parading the streets trying to force people to be one Nigeria. They will be at the border trying to secure the territory of Nigeria and allow the police to do their job. You go and you burn people's livelihood, and nobody talk about it. And then you see people, how many people died in the NSAS thing? But you hear it forever because you have expatriates living in Lagos who can also give an account. But once it happens outside of Lagos or maybe Abuja at most, you will not hear anything. And let me just say this: an average Nigerian is happy about what's happening in Imo State. Igbo people.
Okay. Apologies, Mr. Akukaria. Apologies, I have to butt in because of time. Because before you came up, you said you have listened to what we were saying before. So the point you're making is some of the things that other people have made. I wanted you to go straight to what is the way forward. You believe that Hope Uzodinma
The way forward is for the people that are being killed now to support IPOB and leave the country. That's the only way forward. That's the solution we've been telling people.
Okay, that's fine. You see, these are the kind of points I want to hear. So, in your own point, you believe that the people of Imo State should support IPOB. That's fine. And if it's up to them, I cannot tell them what to do. But I really thank you very much for your submission. So I have Mr. I think there's somebody here. I don't know if it's the person. I think is that Mr. Ezoke? Is that you? I think there's a gentleman here that I've watched some of his clip on YouTube. Is that Mr. Ezoke? Is that him? Mazi Ezoke? Is that him? Okay, I don't think he's the right one because a lot of people use these people's. I don't know if it's the person I think he is. I would have loved to hear from him. Is that him? Okay, a lot of people are saying, Mr. Mazi is okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Pardon?
I think he's a listener, not a speaker.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to invite him to speak because if he's somebody I've listened to some of his things on YouTube. I really enjoy listening to him. So we've got 5 minutes to round up. So we've listened to what quite a lot of people have said. A way forward to rescue Imo State and the Southeast as a whole, and Nigeria in general. Because at the end of the day, if we do not, then we're going to have a problem. I said it before, when it happened in Zaria, a lot of people thought it would not happen to me. Now it start coming home. Then it happened in Lekki, and not only Lekki, there's quite a lot of things that have happened in Nigeria that we do not want to talk about for some reason, best known to us. There was a lot of things. There's something that happened in Obibo in River State. I followed the account of that. That was actually a massacre there, if we want to be honest to ourselves. And fair enough, we do the normal thing we normally do. We move, right? Now it happened in Imo State. What are we going to do again? Are we going to? It's time to hold our people responsible. It's to account. Everybody have a part to play. Never say your voice do not count. Your voices count. But please, 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 I will not be a party to fake news, if you will, or fake videos, or something that happened last year. Somebody will post it and say it happened to me. Please, let's try not to do that. Because we want to have the accurate thing. So when we are talking about these whole issues, we know we are saying the facts, not fictions. I said it again. Find out who your local government chairman is. It's very important. Find out. Buhari is in Abuja. Buhari is the president, but Buhari cannot do everything for everybody. I think I have Mr. Mazi Ezoka, if he's the person I'm thinking it is. Good evening, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear.
Mazi Ezoka, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, I think. Emmanuel, can you hear me? Let me use your Emmanuel, can you hear me? I can. Uma, okay, I think
Sorry,
Mazi Ezoka.
Sorry, I can hear you. I think I had issue with. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Good evening, sir. Good evening. Pleased to have you. I think if you're the one, I think you are who you are. You're the one on YouTube that's talking about things that are happening in Nigeria. Am I right?
Well, I don't know if you have me into two, but that's me you're speaking to.
Oh, thank you very, very much. So I've been, it's quite unfortunate that quite a lot of people use these people's profiles. So I have to be very, very clear. So you've been listening to this conversation, and I will, please, we are rounding up in 2 minutes. What is your take? What is the way forward in restoring, taking the army out of the southeast region of Nigeria? Please, in 2 minutes. Thank you, sir.
Well, the solution is very simple. I mean, 2 days ago, I had when the news broke, I had a roundtable discussion on it, and that's also still online for people to watch. The issue is very simple. After having looked at the whole thing, there are 2 people I hold responsible for whatever happened. One is the Chief of Army Staff. Second is the governor. Now, it behoves on the people of Imo State, like someone here suggested, to, if they cannot hold their reps, especially those in the state assemblies, while other people, some organizations in the diaspora already have, taken up the case with the Chief of Army Staff on an international level regarding the burning of the houses we saw, where. But locally, here, I think what must happen is that the people, you can't make, how do I say that? You can't, for you to cure someone, you mix your medication. The patient must take that drug. And this patient here is the people of Imo State, and they must help us collectively, globally, to, lend their voices also in condemnation of whatever that has happened in Imo State. Like many of you, I do take exceptions when people say that conversations like this are a waste of time, yet they're listening. And I say, if you think conversations like this are a waste of time, then please do not listen in. You can just move on, because they tell you go and take action. What do you mean by taking action? You cannot, in this case, be like the people you are, that are doing this manner of nonsense. Because at the end of the day, whether you like it or not, the states have their own, they control the, the element of coercive power. In that case, we must then act like the ego that fights the, they must then act like the ego that fights the python.
Okay, please apologize. Sorry, sorry, guys. I'm going to ask you for a favor, everybody on the platform, please. We normally close by 10 o'clock. Please, can we please have another 10 minutes, if that's okay with everybody, please? I'm begging you. This might not happen again. If you guys want us to have another 10 minutes, please give me 100. If not, we're gonna round up. Can we please have another 10 minutes? Okay. So we're gonna have another 10 minutes, please. I apologize. So, Mr. Mazo, okay, you have another 2 minutes. Thank you.
Well, without taking much of the time, so like what I said is that we must then begin to devise another means. And for me, it's like the ego and the python. When the python catches the ego on the floor, the python squeezes the ego. The ego is dead. what does the python do? The python changes the whole location of the fight. So you change the location, you pick up the eagle picks up the python, is up, he loses control, he wins. Now I think we must begin to do things that that are abnormal. I do not advocate for people to take up arms and to begin to confront them. Like Dr. Nanda Azikiwe said, it is a man who is insane would argue with a man with a gun, because that is pure insanity. But now, if these people who are in authorities, I think there is one thing that they now fear, which is whenever they know that they get sick, because they built no hospitals at home, and they know that if anything can prevent them from running out of Nigeria to go treat themselves, then we must be wise now to use that in which they fear for most in order to harass them to behave. That's all. Oh, again, that sometimes it really hurts me to discuss these things, because all we are asking for, we are not even talking about good governance. We are only talking about do not kill us. We want to stay alive, just like our brothers and sisters did in Lekki, saying a unit of police called SARS is killing us. All we want is stop shooting us. We want to stay alive. Yet, 1 year after EndSARS, I do not know a single thing that has been implemented. Thank you very much. I yield.
Thank you very, very much, Mr. Ezoke. It's a pleasure to have you on this platform. Hopefully, we have you and we're here every Thursday. We start from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock. So we have programs like this. And like I said, if there's any topic anybody wants us to discuss, we'll kindly look into it, and hopefully we'll discuss that. So I have, Baron King. Good evening, sir. Can you hear me? All right. So, Baron King, I can hear you. So, Olajumoke, can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? Okay, I can hear you. Right, there's quite your landlords are giving you headache. I can hear them. So, all right. Can you hear me now? Yes, I can hear you. Please, in 2 minutes, what's your take? What's the way forward? Thank you.
Okay. Hi, good evening, everybody. First of all, I'd like to state that I'm from Imo State, and the rampage that has been happening has been quite condemnable. Let me just go straight to the point. The way forward is everybody from Imo State that knows that there has been a total political failure from Imo State has to take politics serious. When I mean serious, take it so serious that you make a vow to get your PVC. Whenever there's going to be an election, if you go back, you do whatever you have to do to vote everybody in any political office in Imo State out now. From this is a total abandonment of political responsibility. Nobody wants to take charge of anything. I understand the senator from Olu, Rochas, made some statement in the Senate, but that's where it ends. Most of us have to call out the House of Rep people. I even have to get the phone number of the Federal House of Rep member from Olu. I calling him, he's not picking his call. I didn't want to make any noise. I just wanted to ask him if he's fine. If he feels keeping quiet, he's going to be fine. Because I'm from the Olu zone, and unfortunately, there's a lot of problem on the sidelines. I can tell you authoritatively that in the last 2 weeks or so, these guys have been hitting on people from within the Olu zone that are close to Hope. Because the annoyance is so much. I traveled to the east some 3 weeks back to follow up on something we're doing in the village. Everybody's pissed off.
Sorry, Baron King, apologies, sir, because I like to be very clear. So when you say these guys have been hitting the people close.
Let me make it clear. In everywhere around Olu, everybody is scared of the soldiers. And because of this, there is this your enemy's enemy becomes your friend. People who are not too keen on doing in line with the I don't want to be too specific here, but
Baron King. You see, if there's some information that is not that you're not willing to share on this platform, that's understandable. So what I will beg you is this: if there are things you think I should be of help, please send me a DM. Send me those things. I know how to handle it. But in 1 minute, please, because I've just borrowed 10 minutes from every. Sorry, apologies, sir. In 1 minute, what do you think we can do? What is the way forward? Those information you are not comfortable to share, please send me a DM. I'll handle those ones. Please, what do you think we can do to move forward in moving forward in 1 minute, please? Thank you.
The people from Imo State, because non-indigenous of Imo State can only pray and wish us well, but I think everybody needs to vow to go back to Imo State politics and take an action to ensure that we vote in good heads. Yes, I understand the Senate Supreme Court made hope come this time, but we all need to work hard. I will have to tell you guys, I've routed my PVC back from Lagos back to my village. I've done for my wife also. I'm going to get my brothers to do that. That's the best we can do. In a minute, let me just answer your question. Every Imo State indigene needs to take it serious and go back and ensure you vote from State House of Rep, Federal House of Rep, Senate to Governor. Vote in a good head. Simple. If it is whatever you're having happening now, nothing can change. That's all. That's all I can say.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Baron King. So we are rounding up in 2 minutes. So please, if you're not following any of our handles, please do follow us. We do have quite a lot of conversations like this that concerns each and every one of us as Nigerians. Nigeria, as things stands right now, is still a country. It has not been divided. Until that time comes that some people decide they want to go, it's not a thing. If someone decide they want to go, that's fine. If that's what they choose to do. But as things are right now, we are still a country and we are still a unit. So what matters to me as a person is how do we work for ourselves, because the government, it appears, have failed us. It's not only a problem of APC or PDP, and I think it was Mr. Umar said something akin to what happened in OD. I remember during the answer, somebody asked Timaya, why is it that he's not interested? And he mentioned something akin to when in Bayelsa, that the Obasanjo-led administration sent people in OD to kill his people, that nobody spoke for him. So, you see, this is one thing I keep saying. It's not you. It's Imo State today. It's Imo State today. We don't know which state it's going to be tomorrow, and we don't want it. It's in Zamfara State. It's in Kaduna. A lot of people keep saying, "Are you from Kaduna?" Because I speak about Kaduna more than any other state, right? It doesn't matter. I'm a Nigerian. That's what I want to say. What matters, if it's not happening, if it's not well in Kaduna, it's not well in Nigeria. That's the thing I wanted to understand. Let's work for one another. Let's help one another. And let's try and salvage what is remaining of this great country. Nigeria was once a country called the Giant of Africa. I think that Nigeria is now the dwarf of Africa. Apologies, but that's what it appears to be. But we can still salvage it. We can still salvage it. It's all in our hands. We have the power. We have the power to change this country. The government of Buhari will end in 2023. Another government will come in. And if they realize that we are so gullible that we cannot speak for ourselves, they will follow the same dream. And we will come back here and we keep talking. Get your this, you have the power. Find out who your local government chairman is. Find out who your House of Rep member is. Find out who your House of Assembly member is. Find out who the senators are. They are meant to work for you. You have the power to ask them questions. Only in Nigeria that's the other way around. In America, you can speak to your senators. In UK, you can do that. In other countries, in Germany, you can speak to these guys. Why is our own different? But then again, we have a voice. Twitter is a voice. we can make use of it. I think stands right now, we're still the dwarf of Africa, but something has to change. And we can all change that. Not the change of APC. Apologies, Emmanuel, but I don't want the change of APC. You know? Or maybe the next level of APC. I don't want it. You know, Zacchaeus was so small that he could not see Jesus, that he had to stand up something. Is it sycamore tree? Now that we're the dwarf of Africa, it's time we hide on our sycamore tree, and our sycamore tree is our voice. Thank you very much for tonight, and thank you for allowing me to take 10 minutes of your time. Please do join us next week here at 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock for us to have another discussion about how to move Nigeria forward. And if you're not following our handle, please, you're welcome to follow us. Thank you, Mr. Umar. Thank you very, very much. You've always been so kind every time you come online. You said I should not address you as a former PDP spokesman. So you're a thank you very much. Thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you, Maziez. Okay, Baron Kings, every one of you. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your evening. God bless you. Thank you.
So everyone, thank you for joining that conversation. What is going to happen now is I would, do not go to bed. I'm coming live now. Give me just 5 minutes and I'm going to be talking about the next fraud that is about to happen in Nigeria, which is the removal of fuel subsidy. While it is good in principle, but I will show us the things Buhari said before. My own is, when I say some of these things, some of you say that I'm afraid of DSS. Well, I deal with facts. And in this case, I'm going to come with facts. So join me. Go grab yourself coffee. I know it's late. It's now after 10 o'clock here. So after 10 at night. But we must keep the conversation going. We must keep talking. And maybe finally, at some point, those who have ear infections, those who have promised us stuff and they are not delivering on those things they promised us, maybe at some point they may begin to deliver on those things that they promised us. So we will, and I will be ending this stream now, but please join me in the next 5 minutes. Again, I am still Mazes, okay? And you are here on Njanja Media TV. If you haven't subscribed to this platform, kindly do. Join me in a couple of minutes now.